You guys just finished your Mythic Voyage. How do you feel? Very nice. Now, we claim that the Mythic Voyage is the most heavy-duty, intensive workshop in the world. What do you think? Are we right? How intense is it?
It was a hell of a ride. When you feel like the workshop is over and you went past the harder bits, let's call them, you wake up to the moment where like shit, something happens and it's more intense in the last few days, so yeah.
Yeah, when you think you break through and you're feeling comfortable, then something happens and it's like you return to start.
It definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat, for sure. You never know what to expect down to the last minute. It's kind of hard to have expectations because whenever you ask somebody about what the workshop's going to be like, they just look at you and resign themselves to the fact that you've just got to experience it for yourself. So, in many regards, in almost all regards, I'd say, grossly exceeded that, both in the challenging department and the rewards. High risk, high reward, for sure.
Having trust. So whenever you feel you don't have trust, just try and pray and get it, because with trust you exceed the expectations.
I was open-minded to come here, at least I thought. I was open-minded. Things worked out differently. But I'm cool with it. Yes, I can recommend actually.
What was the biggest challenge of the workshop for you?
Sitting in a chair for 12 hours per day during 14 days, thinking, analyzing in the same time, processing, crying, laughing, not understanding nothing, a combination of all these things, I think.
It was very challenging, the opportunity to see our blind spots. So as we shared our life stories and what we thought were our problems, we were exposed with what the real problems were, which were absolute blind spots for almost everybody, if not everybody. So developing that acceptance and awareness, that was very hard, but definitely a gift.
I would say the hardest part is coming in knowing that you want to get back to your own self, but you build these kind of defense mechanisms and these guards to kind of keep you safe. So you know what you want, but you can't figure out how to get yourself out of it. So you kind of stay in this stuck position. And then when the walls kind of are broken down for you, you get the opportunity to step through, and it's like the most equally terrifying thing, but at the same time the most liberating and incredible feeling.
I have a slightly different perspective about the challenges, because for me it was showing up. Like you watch these videos and people say, oh, it's the most hardcore workshop, it's like intensive, there's these challenges, like it's hard, like it beats you down and brings you up again. And yeah, it was self-doubt and overcoming that, and once I showed up, like it's okay, like with the help of the group and with like a little trust both in the team and in yourself. I think just coming here and making the decision was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, the T word, trust, was a big one. There's a lot of whiplash, up and down, left and right. You kind of feel like you're in a washing machine emotionally for the first 10, 12 days, and then you break free and you feel like you're on the downhill coasting, and then all of a sudden you get slammed again. And so it's a wild ride, and just to keep showing up with that trust and being open and moving forward was challenging, But again, high risk, high reward.
Roller coaster.
For me, the challenge existed out of, let's say, you have a bridge which is standing on pillars, and the huge shake on the bridge, let's say, and the stones get a little bit loose, and then suddenly the pillar is like falling apart and the whole bridge collapses, and it's like your belief, the things you believed in, it's like they just fall apart, and you have to rebuild it. You rebuild your own bridge, but in a different way. So for me, it's the most challenging thing was actually rebuilding your bridge and trust yourself. How to build it.
What do you feel are the biggest gifts that will go with you away from this workshop?
I think one of the biggest ones is realizing that all of us are the same, basically. Understanding that all humans are pretty much the same. We are all little children, and we got hurt at some point. And seeing all these stories connecting to yourself, listening to the others, and you just figure out we're not that different. We've got the same shit going on. We've got similar stories, and we sort of build the same types of beliefs and defense mechanisms that stop serving us at some point. And it's really a big relief. It's just such a big relief, and I think that's what you take with you. Everyday life, you just see people and you can see right through them and through their defenses and look at their little children and be like, you're just the same as me, let's have a party.
For me, I would like to share about two gifts. So one gift is the gift of getting perspective and looking at every situation and every action we've taken in our lives with a different lens, and understanding that any given event, we have the option of seeing it as an opportunity or as a challenge. And the second one was taking responsibility over a role in any given situation, even if you cause 10% of the situation or 100%, when you take responsibility of your role, then that gives you the opportunity to change. And that's why we're here. What changes can we implement in our day-to-day lives so that we can live better lives for ourselves and others? So those two things.
I want to add the gift of getting a new family. When you get here, you might feel alone, maybe lost because it's something that it's out of your comfort zone. But then the way everyone exposes themselves here, it gets you find so much intimacy between the members on your group, and everyone becomes a sister or a brother. And it's the most amazing feeling to belong to so many people, to be in one with all the people you get to know here. I'm going home with brothers in Germany, with sisters in the Netherlands, in Canada, everywhere in the world, and like it's a feeling of maybe safety, because I know that even though I'm in South America, in Peru, and everyone is spread around the world, I mean, I have family all around the world, so that's amazing. That's an amazing gift.
Yeah, I think one of the best metaphors would be a horse that was dragging a burdensome carriage behind him with the blinders on, and all of the accoutrement gets ripped off. And so you get to see and you get to be free and move forward. And it's a burden that kind of lifts off your chest, and inspiration as you lift your head up to move forward.
Yeah, and also the freedom that comes with being so vulnerable and being witnessed in that vulnerability, parts of yourself that you've never even said out loud or even admitted to yourself, the parts of yourself that you've had like a cage of shame around, and then having a group of people hold you in that and say that it's okay and that they can relate. It's like, what? Really? That was one of the biggest gifts. Yeah.
One of the biggest gifts I got out of this workshop is to fully live, or at least experience. I actually lived my life with my brain, like I thought about how to live my life. And what I have experienced here, it was like being connected again with my emotions. So living my life now will be, I hope, and I'm looking forward to it, to get it more easy done by my heart, to love myself and to love the ones that are very close to me. Yes, that's my reward of it. Yes.
How do you feel going back out into the world with your new understanding?
That's a good question. How do we feel? Excited, but at the same time maybe curious to see how we are seeing what we transmit. So it's a new day, it's a new life after the workshop. So that's what I feel, at least, excitement and curiosity. And eager to put in practice everything we've learned here.
I feel like I'm gonna be out there as real me, and I feel like, woo! Yes.
What changed the most for you, Marlon?
I think from the beginning, I made a very clear choice to be here for myself. So that was difficult for me, like to come here with a clear intention that I have to work for me. And I'm really proud I made that choice. I trust myself more. I could monitor my emotions and understand where they come from. I could see my patterns showing up. I can see clearly myself and who I am and who I want to be.
What do you guys have to say about the ceremonies we do in this workshop, like the kind of experience you get coming here?
Awesome.
At first, you're very, very skeptical about the word ceremonies. Like, there is so much mystery inside the word. And at first, the first ceremony I had, I was like, am I really going in a magical trip inside my mind? Am I actually gonna find something? And then you immerse yourself into that experience, and it's surprising, it's mind-blowing. It's not something you can expect, because everyone have a different experience. Some people are more visual, they can really see an image of everything that's happening. For others, it's more feeling, like strong feelings coming out of you. There's always some kind of energy. The energy always transmits itself in some kind of way. And the ways it manifests are really surprising for each of us. So they're very powerful, even if you don't believe it.
How's your life going to be different, Lily?
Oh my gosh. I think it's going to be different in a great way. I'm like really scared to go out there and implement all these changes, but also excited. So I have no idea what my life is going to look like in a year's time. Well, I guess I do actually. It's completely different from what it's been before, but in the best way. So.
What about you, Paul? How does life change for you after this?
It will change a lot. I feel my life will change knowing that I know all my blind spots and my patterns so far. And as, I'm not sure who said it, but having like a clear image of what you know doesn't work and doesn't help you in terms of your, actions and patterns so far, being also different from what you thought it was wrong with you before. And being able to, I think, not cut the corners anymore, knowing that if you don't act on what you say you will do, you have this responsibility in your back that you have to perform. So I feel change in the fact that I have to show up and not cut corners anymore and be strong Yeah.
I think the inspiration to actually create, like be in the driver's seat of creating how I want my day to go, my week to go, knowing that I can actually tangibly do that in the most simplest of terms to ground that feeling. And yeah, I'm just so excited to apply that to my relationships and work and my play, like, and not get lost in my normal patterns. And there's an actual clear pathway forward. So I'm really excited to implement that.
We have powers. We have powerful tools, and we have the intention in a clear direction. So I think that's a really powerful tool moving forward.
For me, it would be that it's all about choice, and it's all on you, and you have to just trust and make a choice.
To be consistent in your daily activity and in your daily movements.
Yeah, it's very exciting that we closed the workshop with a plan with very concrete steps on how to handle ourselves in daily lives. So it's been a journey of observing where you're coming from, what things you have been screwing up, what things you have been doing great, what are your desires, what really calls your heart, what is your truth, and then based on that design a plan of what you want to do after this. So in that plan we cover topics around ourselves, how to take care of ourselves, how to heal and improve relationships with others, from parents, sisters, siblings, significant others, to our work, our mission. So it's very concrete. It's a lot of understanding with concrete steps once we leave the workshop to implement what we learned. So, yeah.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you very much. I guess there's only one thing left to say.